Hello, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. Famous line by Mark Antony in the at Julius Caesar's funeral in a Shakespeare play, Act 3, Scene 2, when he's trying to get all of Rome to turn against Brutus and the conspirators who killed Caesar. Kind of cool, actually, when you think about it. Anyways, now that I have your ear, thank you. I appreciate it. Lovely to have you here. Lovely to see you here. Just absolutely lovely. We're having a lovely day here in South Houston. Today's Friday, May 1st, 2026. I have been sober for, drumroll, 14,276 days. That equates to 39 years and 30 days. A total of 468 months and 30 days. Yay! We had a lot of storms out here, so it kind of was rough for a while because Houston can flood very easily. And so driving can be very treacherous and quite a challenge sometimes. And people try to get about their lives the best way they can, even with the storms of life smashing all around them, just like we do every day. We could have a beautiful sunny day, but we're fighting the storms of life because rent is due and it's the 30th. And actually today is the 1st, so people are paying it. And if they're not paying their rent, some of the places give them 5 to almost 8 days is a real push. They might have a small fee on top of that for paying late. So it's panic time, it's crunch time. The economy's bad, so people are suffering. And there's a tension in the air. And some folks are clever enough to ignore it and push on, but they know it's there. Some people are being overwhelmed by it because you're just doing your usual thing, and all of a sudden it's like someone dumping a dozen bricks on your back, a heavier load to carry for the same amount of money, for the same amount of time. It's just hard on people. So some people are stressed, some people are really hurting. Our lives will change like that. I'm old, I've seen it come and go. You can blame a political party. In this particular case, you certainly the fuck can. But, and to ignore it is just silly. When the war stops, the gas prices will drop like a rock. You just admitted that you fucked it up and you brought the gas prices up. People are dumb when they open their mouths and think they're explaining something. And that's the thing about being open and honest. If you're not open and honest and you're only talking, you hear that expression, talk out of one side of your mouth. Or he talks out of both sides of his mouth. What does that mean? Good people on both sides. That's what that means, in case you didn't let that one sink in. Of course, if he's on your team and he's your quarterback, you're going to ignore that, and that's what I'm talking about. It's going to be hard to be sober if you're not truthful, because lying creates doubt. And you hear the expression, sunlight is the greatest sanitizer. The truth is the greatest sanitizer. I tell people, when you first become sober, you want to do like noble things and good things, and your life, you feel your life turning around. And it's really funny that all of us who want to seek enlightenment climb the mountain, metaphorically or sometimes physically, because God is on the mountain. The truth is on the mountain. You must make an effort to get to the mountain. Moses climbed the mountain to get the tablets of the 10 Commandments. It's that type of thing. And when you're facing the light of truth, it casts a shadow behind you. And that's some of the bad things you've done or the things you're trying to make amends for. It's always going to be there. Like, the things that I've done are still there, but I've straightened them out the best I can. You don't eliminate them, because that's like saying there's no nighttime. It's all daylight, 24 hours of daylight. It's a balance. It's always been a question of balance. It's a question of balance of how we take care of our relationships, how we deal with work. and getting a promotion, and there's a question of balance at work that has nothing to do with at home, but they're connected because the money you make enhances home. And I think it was Walt Whitman, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, called it the Great American Compromise. And I love that because I remember one time, well, I think I was in Pasadena working as a manager for Applebee's. And but I'd been to Nashville and had my own store, and I was a training store general manager, and I got a lot of awards. And before that, I have opened and flipped over 55 restaurants for Applebee's International and did a lot of things with corporate and then franchise and whatnot. Before that, I was just a kid who worked at Applebee's who came from fine dining, and before that, I worked my way up the ranks of fine dining and started as a 14-year-old dishwasher so I could start saving money for a car. Just went backwards in time. I almost feel dizzy. That just sums up my life right there in work. So I had a lot of history with it. And you stay in your lane and you keep doing what you do so you can provide for your family. But I remember people talking to me, and they're like, newer people, newer staff members, and, wow, you opened up a lot of stores? You get to see the country. Yeah, a lot of cities. Someone will say, well, I'm from Ohio. I've been to Cincinnati, I've been to Toledo, and I've also been to Cleveland. By the way, Cleveland rocks. Hey, Cleveland, yeah. But, and Dayton. So, you know, I've been everywhere in your state, and it's a great state. For an example, and then people would say, wow, did you always want to be a trainer and a general manager and work in a restaurant? Like, no. I was a 14-year-old kid trying to save money to get a car. And that was my only goal and my only dream. And I got a 1968 Camaro, blue with black stripes, moonroof, not a sunroof because I was a stallion. And big mag wheels and jacked up, and a spoiler in the front and a spoiler in the back. And by God, I was driving like a teenage fool, and got my first speeding ticket going to school, of all things, in high school. And my dad's like, why are you in such a hurry? You barely get a B. You're a C student, for Christ's sakes. Later on, when I sobered up and then I finally went to college 8 years later, it was a long summer. 3 arrests, and we'll get into that some other time. But then I became the top 5 percentile of my class, and then I excelled. And but you can turn everything around if you need to, if you desire to. And it takes time and it takes effort. But they would say, you know, is that what you always wanted to be? No, I didn't plan on being a manager of any sort. What would you want to be? I said, well, the jobs I had, they weren't taking applications. Really, what was it? Well, I wanted to be either a rock star or a movie star, and I didn't know where to put the application in my resume, so I decided to work in a restaurant. You do what you got to do because your life evolves, and if you've been sober for a while, and say your relationship, you're with someone, you end up moving in together. Nowadays, back in the day, moving in was kind of risque. Now it's just kind of common. But you move in with somebody, and you start living, and you pretend and prepare to be like a married couple, and she will say something like, honey, what is this? It's my coffee table. No, it isn't. It's a spool. Yeah, no, got it. It's pretty cool. All wooden. Yeah, you can slam your feet on. I want something different. I want a different couch, too. Baby, this couch is comfortable. What are you talking about? You got 2 bricks on that leg holding it up. Yeah, the leg broke, but it's still solid. No, I have friends coming over. I don't want them to see this. This is just raggy. That's the reason why I put a big blanket over it. Yeah, it looks nice. Yeah, to cover up how ratty your couch looks. Then you're going to, well, do we go to a furniture store? That's kind of expensive, but they have layaway. How about we go rooms to go? It's a little bit cheaper, which so is their furniture, but it's a good start. And that way, when she invites friends over, her parents over, it looks like she's feathering the nest properly. And your area, your common area, looks like your story. We're together. We're building a life together. And you plan for these things. Well, they plan you. if you're a guy, you're unaware of it. But once you start getting into a relationship, and and if you're sober, you're aware of what your mate wants, so you make sure you do these things. I remember I said, "What are these chairs?" They're Queen Anne chairs. Who the fuck is Queen Anne? What? But it's like, I would have never said to my friends, what I really need here, next to my, and I'm old, Nintendo game thing here, my console, I need a couple of Queen Anne chairs so we can sit back and relax and enjoy the games. No. You make compromises. It's the great American compromise. You compromise at your job, because that's all of a sudden you have to pay the rent. You're paying for your furniture, and all of a sudden you got to stay in your lane, because life now dictates that you have to have a certain amount of money coming in every month, and you want to be above that, or you're really going to be behind the 8 ball. And when the economy is effed up like it is right now, people that already have a budget are getting it effed up by people who get paid to be in government that can't pass a budget bill. See? It's that kind of dumb stuff that we have to deal with. And people are stressed, and people are having a hard time. Some people are having a hard time staying sober, because you can use that as an excuse to say, I don't want to do this shit no more. Yeah, but you might be in a plane with a lot of turbulence, but just to go, I'm just going to go back and do some coke and just disappear for like a week, is about as much sense as the turbulence in the plane being so rough and you can't stand it. You jump out of the fucking plane without a parachute. That's about as much sense as that makes. That's about as far as your thought process went. But some of us do that, because when it comes down to it, when we're panicked and the outside stimulus gets to us, we have that option of hitting the eject button and just F up our lives completely. And then come back later if you can, if you're even alive. It's kind of like this Dennis Leary joke. I remember when he said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get myself famous. I'm going to get rich. I'm going to do a lot of drugs, do a lot of coke, do a lot of booze. I'm going to beat the shit out of my kids, beat the shit out of my wife, beat the shit out of my whole family. Then I'm going to go to rehab, come out, be on the cover of People magazine going, sorry. And a lot of people think that if you just say the word sorry, magically you're off the hook. There are people that know me from 39 years ago that don't give a damn if I'm sober, because I was such a shit to them that they'll never give me the grace, and they'll never trust me. And all I can do is just say, I'm doing the best I can. I apologize. I can only apologize so much. And then I'm, basically I ought to cut myself loose of those people, because they've already cut me loose. They don't give two shits about me. And that's their decision. There's nothing wrong with that. Just because I've been sober for 39 years, people go, oh my God, that's a blessing. I've had people put their hands on me and start praying and speaking in tongues. I've had just a tremendous reaction from a lot of people. I mean, I do. And it's humbling. It's shocking. It's beautiful. Sometimes I think it's almost horrific, because it really unsettles me to the point where I got to really regroup, because I don't want to be so unsettled that it unnerves me. And I think, shit, I might just do a line of coke and blow this shit all to hell. This is too crazy. I can't stand these heights anymore. I'm getting a nosebleed. Or is it from the coke? I can't tell. Where's the exit for the plane? Let me jump out. That kind of dumb shit. I'm capable of thinking of that too, even after 39 years. It's what triggers you and what makes you react a certain way. And sometimes during the Great American Compromise, I was flippant when I said I wanted to be a movie star and a rock star. But as a teenager, I did. And you make an adjustment in life. Now, I live a common life, and it's good. As long as you can lead a good life, it doesn't matter how common it is. You're not in high school. You don't have to compete. And that's the whole thing. Even people that compete, they're still competing. Hey, how come you're not going to the class reunion? You've seen me. I'm not completely morbidly obese. I was, though. And I still have my hair. And I've been sober for 39 years, so I'm not going to do any shots with you, but I'll sit and chat with you. But we can also do that online, so I don't feel like going back home. But I'm in a Facebook group with like half my class. So if any of my class members are watching, hello, love you. Blessing to have known you for sure. And I wish you a lot of success. I even had one buddy of mine, Paul, who we had quite a few classes together, but he wasn't part of the country boy group that was my group. But he was quite a popular scholar and a good-looking guy in high school. Not that you're not good-looking now, Paul, but you're married, so you're not playing the game. But he got a hold of me. He lives in Austin. I'm like, dude, this would be so cool when I go to Austin. I'm gonna look you up. When you come to Houston, look me up. It's just kind of fun to reconnect with people. And I don't know what he does for a living. I'm retired now, so he's probably retired too, but I'm retired and I'm working for the temple, doing all these posts and putting up things. So I'm going to have myself a very busy fourth quarter of my life, which is my idea of paying it forward and hopefully help some people and with our outreach program. So I'm going to keep myself busy. I don't know what Paul's doing. Maybe he's just enjoying his hobbies and his family. And at our age, I'm sure he has grandchildren and maybe even great-grandchildren, you know? And still a good-looking guy, and he's got his hair right on, you know, if that's what people are looking for. Because they're always looking for, like, did you peak too soon? I always felt like I crashed and burned. I made an ass out of myself. And then from there, the old cliche of a phoenix rising from its own ashes. And since 27, I've been on a steady incline. So I don't feel at all like I've even peaked. I've had ups and downs in my life, but overall the trajectory is still going upward and onward. So I feel blessed about that. And a lot of that blessing is me creating it myself through my work and communication with people and what I do. And that's it, because I still lead a common life, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's the key to enjoy and be comfortable in your own skin and be open and honest. So if there's an awkward moment or where you feel inferior, you actually talk to someone about it and try to work your way out of it and find out why you're repressing yourself in such a manner. You're basically your own psychiatrist, besides going to meetings and publicly speaking to people. It's those of us who do not talk that builds up. And the best way I can say is like a bottle of Coke, you pop in a Mentos and put your thumb over it and give it a good shake. And eventually the pressure is going to blow and everybody's going to have that sweet, sticky shit all over themselves. Everyone that's around you, that's your emotions. You just blew up in front of everybody, because that's what happens. We build it up, we build it up, we build it up, we blow it up, and we blow up. And as you're listening to that, you can just say, oh yeah, that's true. You know, and in psychology there are terms and they look for that. It's a true thing. It happens. You don't even have to have even a 99 or a 101 course on psych to know that is what happens. All it takes is one Narcotics Anonymous meeting or AA meeting and listen to the stories. And the people are telling the true stories of themselves. We all have patterns. They're all distinct patterns, but in between that, we color it with our own personality. We color it with our own personal stories. Some of us are married, some of us are divorced, some of us are straight, some of us are gay, some of us are unemployed, some of us have a lot of money, some of us have no money, some have a new car, some just crashed their car. But the pattern is still the same in which we deal and work with stuff. So that never changes. And so we're no different. And that's what I was amazed when I was in treatment and they handed out the big book. And I'm like, this is a musty old big book, literally, that is some kind of Bible. What is it? And I opened it up. I started reading about this guy in the 30s who's struggling with alcohol. And the things that he wrote and said were literally quotes that I have actually said. And I thought, how does this guy from all those years ago write a story that actually applies to me literally? How can that be? Is there a time portal? What the hell was someone? No, it's a pattern. That's the frightening thing. we're all told that we're very unique. We're all unique as snowflakes, and we are. But we all have a lot of common things. Can't mix your blood type. You can, certain people are allergic to certain foods and have bad reactions to it. Some of us have reactions to drugs and alcohol that are not favorable to our freedom, family, or life. And I got a list of friends. I mentioned it to my wife the other day. I said, I'm just kind of going through sipping some coffee and thinking about all the guys that I did drugs and drank with. And the hardcore guys that I partied with, not some of my buddies in high school where we party at keggers and have a good time before I really went down a downward spiral. But all the people I partied with on that downward spiral, when I kept going to lower levels of friendships, if you can even call it that at that point, it's dependence, they're dead. Remember my dad used to always call me. He's passed a few years ago. But my dad would call me and say, "Oh, I gotta tell you, your buddy David just died." What? Yeah, heroin and booze. Hey, I gotta tell you, your buddy Tom's gone. What? He had a heart attack. I think it was due to cocaine. Dad, what are you, the goddamn Grim Reaper? You live 1,300 miles from home. You don't really talk to money. You don't talk to your old friends back then. And you just need to know because they're gone. But you chose to be sober. So you're not going to go that route. So you should be happy and proud of yourself because I am. And I'm like, Jesus. Wow. Thanks, Dad. And it was just give me that connection. It's a lot of times if you move away from home, you're going to have a brother, sister, mom, or dad call you and tell you what's going on, who got married, who got divorced, who just died, who had a kid. So it's kind of like the town crier, ching, heary. So, it just kind of keeps you up to date on your past. So it helps you connect more dots and you can actually reflect on it and look back on it and take some pride in what you did. Because those of us that are sober, I always kid around, it's like we're actually the real magicians. They should have us in Vegas doing our own shows because we can literally turn a complete shit life into gold. We're the ultimate alchemists. Back in the dark ages, they wanted guys who could figure out how to turn lead into gold. And that's what we are. We turn our shit lives into gold. Cheers to all of us that are pushing forward. Is it a hard thing? Yes, not easy. It's uphill all the way, baby. But then again, so is not doing it and effing around with drugs because you're going to find the world's going to get harder on you too, whether it's arrests or divorces or children won't talk to you anymore. Your wife won't talk to you. You can destroy your whole life. And that's always a potential too. You don't want that. So even doing the wrong thing is uphill all the way. So there's nothing ever easy. And anything that comes to you easy is never appreciated. Al Stewart's got a song, if it doesn't come naturally, leave it. And doing drugs is not a natural thing, so leave it. Try to do a life where you're open and honest with people. That might not even seem natural at first because you might come from a family that is famous for this saying, we don't say we love each other. We just know it. Yeah, start saying it to each other. Trust me. There's less words to I love you than we don't say we love each other. We just know it. Wink and a nudge, wink and a nudge. 8 out of 10 of us we're raised in families like that. Mm-hmm. So, keep that in mind as we're living our lives. It's the great American compromise. You might be a hairstylist. Never thought you'd ever be a hairstylist, but you're really good at what you do. Congratulations. You might be a mechanic. Yeah, my buddies always call me a grease monkey, but goddamn it, I take care of my family. I got one of those jobs when you get home, you got to take a shower, man. Yeah, not a shower before you go to work. It's after, because I'm dirty as AF. Yeah, but you're taking care of your family. And that is the dirty work. That is the hard work. So congratulations. Even the congratulations to guys who can go home and have a couple of beers and that's it. I got a brother, and my brother, he can go to a wedding reception and have a couple of beers, that's it. I still, 39 years of being sober, I still don't know how the F that works. How do you do that? I walk into a gas station, I'm like, what the F is a 6-pack? Jesus, not even a 12-pack. Back in the day, if you came to my house with a 12-pack, I would say, all right, hey, Tommy, I'm going to put that in the refrigerator. Don't take your shoes off yet. Turn your ass around and get the other half of that case. And get a bottle in case we finish that off, too, okay? Yeah, I'm always thinking ahead. Oh, allergies, man. Anyways, thank you for coming along and hanging out with me on a daily sobriety vlog. I do appreciate it. Help us at Patreon, Cash App, Venmo, Chime, ding, 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 buy me a coffee, all the good stuff, the usual suspects, so that we can help other people like us who are suffering. Or you might not even be an alcoholic or a drug addict, but you have family members, so you are still suffering. So about collateral damage. You might even be collateral damage. So reach out to us so that we can reach out in our outreach program to help people. We're just paying it forward. I'm just trying to finish the fourth quarter strong. That's it. Nothing magical over that except the fact that I'm turning shit into gold. The shit being my life and my past. So thank you. From the bottom of my heart to the top of my soul, I'm trying to fix that hole inside of me too. And it gets really big some days, and some days I almost got it, and then something else happens. So it's a merry-go-round. It's like standing up in a roller coaster, not recommended, but we all do it from time to time. But thank you. And in the words of Ringo, peace and love, everybody. Peace and love. I love the fact that you joined me. Thank you. I love the fact that you took your time to listen to me talk about a topic and being sober for 4,276 days on May 1st. Hey, happy May Day. And by the way, whenever I walked into a bar, that's pretty much what I felt like people were saying. May Day, May Day, we got a new one, May Day. Different kind of May Day, I know. It just kind of came to me. Came to me in an illusion, in a dream. 39 years sober, 30 days sober, 468 months, 30 days sober, and still counting. So we will see you tomorrow. I'm going to get back on the road. Look at this. Safety first. Putting on the seatbelt. And I'm going to drive off in a little Prius, a 2020 Prius, the red car we call Cherry. And I top off the gas every day so I can try to save gas. Right now I'm tracking 62.3 miles per gallon. Helps a lot when we're in Iraq effing everything up, and then we find that the political people have their cock in our Chryslers and our tanks and in our wallets. Kind of hard to walk when the president is humping your wallet, but there you go. I used to, I top it off every day to make the gas mileage go further, and it's kind of funny, not haha funny, but what the F. But I would top it off with like $4 to $6 every day and keep driving, just be a happy little camper, retired. And now it's like $11 to $13. Thank you. Thanks for keeping the gas low, President. Wow. But anyways, people are struggling. And people are struggling with their addiction, and people are struggling with their relationships. People are struggling with their lives. We get sick. And healthcare is not there. We get sick and we can't do anything. We watch loved ones die because healthcare isn't there. We're an industrial state and we can't even get it. We're the only industrial state that doesn't have universal healthcare. England has it, Canada has it, Japan has it, New Zealand has it, Germany has it, France has it, Australia has it. What the F? Shut the F up. We need to have it because I thought we were number one. Remember when you were running around with that foam finger after the football game? we're number one. Now I wear this when I go to rallies. Yeah, we're number one in obesity and diabetes. Come on. So we got to get it together, people. But first of all, we just got to get sober and make sure we look at the world through sober eyes. But thank you. I appreciate you being with me today. And I want to just say, take a moment to stop. I got the brakes. I'm in a parking lot, so I don't need my four-way flashers on. I got my seatbelt on. The engine just started up because the hybrid battery was getting low because it was blowing a little AC on me as I was doing this little vlog, getting ready to drive. And before I leave, I do want to say thank you. I love you. I'll see you again on the next vlog. Have yourself a fantastic day. Thank you very much. Happy May Day. See ya.